Pardon me. Excuse me. The Roses, starring Benedict Cumberbatch, Olivia Coleman, directed and produced by Jay Roach, with a screenplay by Tony McNamara of Poor Things and The Favorite fame. It's good. It's really, really good. Unfortunately, though, it's not great, and there's a couple reasons for that. So first, let's start off with things that are good in regards to The Roses. Now, as someone who has never read the book or watched the original, I went into this fully blind without anything to actually compare it from. So what is The Roses about? Well, it chronicles the tale of a young British couple as they leave England for America in their youth in order to pursue a more fruitful career. Time passes, they have kids, trials and tribulations, but the real meat of this movie is the fallout. It was in the trailers, and it is very clear from the opening scene, you know you are in to watch the end of their relationship. Now, I did say that the movie itself is not particularly great. Don't get me wrong, it's very, very good. Jay Roach has always had an affinity for romantic comedies as well as, comedic films of the late 90s and the early 2000s. And a lot of that energy in terms of the chemistry between Olivia Coleman and Benedict Cumberbatch is very much felt here. They have such good chemistry, it is almost insane. The movie itself is at its strongest when it's not only British, but it's also just these two. There are several segments in the film that is literally just those two. It is impossible to know whether or not what is actually on screen is either improv or just what was written in the script. Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Coleman, their performances are just that good. It is insane. And the film is written and directed with equal levels of competency. Jay Roach, I think, in the latter part of his career, has proved himself to juggle tension, drama, and comedy rather well. And there are several scenes in this movie. The tension and the underlying hatred that brews beneath this couple's relationship is just so damn good. However, this film suffers from one very deep problem. And I think I'll use Olivia Coleman as an example. You see, after she won her Oscar with The Favorite, she talked about how early in her career she was more of a background actress, a supporting role that she got consistently, Hot Fuzz being one of them. She talked about how a good supporting cast can make a world feel real, alive, or authentic. And unfortunately for The Roses, they all suck. Adam Sandberg, Kate McKinnon, Zoe Zhao, and the rest are all cast really poorly. Andy Samberg still brings his, airhead buffoonery energy, but he's supposed to be playing a very serious lawyer, and his archetype does not work well with this character. And Kate McKinnon is supposed to play a sexed up housewife, but that maniac energy doesn't fit here. It just doesn't work. Nobody other than Olivia and Ben really deliver, except for Allison Janney, and she's in the movie for one scene. The film's biggest setbacks are its supporting cast, because when the film works best is when it's working as a British sensibility film. You have these comedic actors with Andy, Kate, and Zoe that, of course, any good director would just let them riff for a couple takes, see what kind of comedic material they have on hand. But unfortunately this time around, it is so easy to tell when they're improvising because it is not nearly as sharp as Tony's script. It is a shame because when you see Ben and Olivia on screen, their chemistry just oozes. It's so good. It's the selling point for this movie. It is the reason you should go see it in a theater now. The best way I can at least summarize my overall feelings for this movie is like watching Avatar on an 80-inch screen. It's a beautiful picture that you're so engrossed in. Everything about it is beautiful. But slowly but surely as you're watching it, you start noticing dead pixels in the upper left-hand part of the screen. Later it's in the right corner. Then it's more in the middle. And by the end of the movie, you start noticing that the screen is littered with dead pixels. Overall, you try to push past it. You try to acknowledge what works. But at the end of the day, despite the experience that you had when you were sucked in, you can't help but not notice those dead pixels. Because they are noticeable. They are very noticeable. And by the end, I gotta say, as much as I really enjoyed the film, I'm not sure I can stomach the thought of having to listen to Kate McKinnon's character wanting to be all sexed up and grope herself against Benedict Cumberbatch. Kate McKinnon as a straight woman. No. No, thank you. I do not want that. I'm not saying you shouldn't see it. I'm just saying temper your expectations. Really temper them. Because at the end of the day, this film is about this couple's rotten marriage and how toxicity and need go hand in hand. It's a brilliant and even downright beautiful exploration on the idea of codependency. It is really good when it really explores that angle. And as much as I just took shot after shot after shot after shot after shot at this movie and all of its supporting cast, I have to once again reiterate, and I know I'm coming across as a broken record, and I probably am, but I cannot praise Ben and Olivia enough. I'm not lying when I tell you that you have to see this movie just for them alone. You have to see this movie. You do. I'm not necessarily certain it's a good couples movie, but I promise you, you will at least get a good bit of fun out of it. So with that being said, allow me to read you my final verdict on Jay Roach's The Roses. Despite an overwhelmingly disappointing supporting cast, The Roses blooms through the vitriolic and oozing chemistry between Olivia Coleman and Benedict Cumberbatch. It's a brilliant exploration on codependency and shines most when it's a deconstruction on the idea of a perfect marriage. I give The Roses 7 out of 10. Would highly recommend. With caution. I'm Noah Pfister. Thank you so much for tuning in on my review. Please feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts, and I'd love to further discuss them with you. Take care, have a good rest of your day. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Why did I give it a thumbs up?